Hello, I'm Checkax. We're going to be playing through another run of SOVL. SOVL is a medieval strategy game. If you have any familiarity with Warhammer Fantasy Battles or the variant Warhammer Total War Warhammer, then you'll be right at home. If not, it's very simple and straightforward. You'll be able to pick it up in no time. So as you've seen from the title and thumbnail, we're playing through the Dead Nations, specifically as the Vampire Knight. I like the Vampire Knight over the other two because they're a bit sluggish, where they play into the faction strengths really well, where they take loads of casualties but they just endlessly resurrect, but it can drag on a bit. So Vampire Knight is the one of their lords who has a bit of punch, leading units of skeleton knights who can do some damage while also benefiting from the reanimated stuff. So I'm going to go with that. Okay, and our most important selection of the game, we choose our starting units. So I'm probably going to prioritise the Felbats. Get to use them, which is great. Initially at the start of the campaign they're pretty pants, but as the levels go in they'll get better quite quickly, so we'll take those. And then we're spoiled for choice there, but for fun I'm not going to be able to turn down the zombie giant. Again, the direwolves kind of fill the same niche as the bats, so it's really a choice between Dread Knights and Giant. Giant's just more fun. It's probably not as, this is the most competitive choice I suspect, but come on, why would I turn that down? Our force. Mark, have a quick look at our army there. So it's the Vampire Knight in charge of her Skeleton Knights. Fitting. Countess Sylvana. Call you Syl. Shadowbolt, which is a Undead Fireball. Imagine that. And Unholy Vigor, which I believe makes one unit, zombie unit, or reanimated unit rather, of your choice faster, which goes well because they're all very slow. I think I can use that on, yes I can use it on the Giants, a bit of synergy there. 2 units of bats to put on the side and flank. They're very fragile to start. You have 2 wounds each. You can improve the attacks on the wounds as we go along. Okay, so we have to make a strategic decision as we follow our path. Let's go through the legend really quickly. So the 2 swords crosses are a fight where you can earn gold and XP. Battling forces, the random events are hard to describe. They could be anywhere from sending guys into a forgotten tomb to pillage gold, but they maybe die. You encounter a random enemy, so all minotaurs or all giants or something, you get a magic item, things like that. Or you get buffs, magical buffs to your army. Quite interesting, but kind of skewed in that you can't really guarantee the value you get out of it, so I tend to avoid them, whereas the fights are guaranteed value. The anvils are armories, they're shops where you buy new units and buy upgrades for the ones you already have. The kind of sword hilt are the elite battles, which are the same as the regular ones, just harder, but they give you more gold. And then the little campsite there is, lo and behold, a campsite where you don't get gold on like battles, but instead you'll get replenishment and XP. You get XP from the fights as well, but you get more replenishment. In general, if you can, you want to take fights over the camps, because you want to amass gold to snowball into the later campaigns. You can buy more units, whereas if you kept resting over and over again unnecessarily, you won't build up the necessary strength you need to prevail in the later, harder battles. So having a look at our options here, we can go down the south path, so it's 2 fights, a random event, a shop, random event, and you can come up here. So you get stuck with a bunch of rubbish, and you can go up here, which is 3 fights, shop. So you get 2 random events up here, and an elite here you would get 1 by force, 2, 3, and okay, so it'd probably be better in that case for me to go up here. You'll still get 1 so you can see 1, but otherwise things are a bit more consistent going up this way. Goblin Raiders. So kind of low morale, kind of easy starting battle. The flying units can pass over difficult terrain, usually slows you down by half your movement speed. But you can't stop in the impassable terrain, but I can still fly over it. So I'm happy to stick these on the extreme flanks. Let's see what I can position those there. So I want to get them into the side as quickly as possible. I go first, and in this case I'm going to send the giant forward first. Justification being that they're going to use their short bows and they'll target the closest thing. The giant would be a great target, so if you have a look at its mechanics there, it's 10 wounds, defense 6. So it's an absolute brick. It doesn't really take any damage, and it regenerates quite well. I can keep, so and they'll be anything but a 1, so we take no damage. Whereas if they shot into my bats, that would have actually taken a pretty nasty hit. So I'm very happy with that. And then we're not going to be able to get around these guys this time. Just see what our options are. Careful, don't get too close. Don't give them free charge. I'm just going to inch forward a bit so I can shoot them. Oh. There we are. So just fire a shadow bolt. It's not randomized, it's 3 auto hits at really strength 4. 2 dead goblins, it's fine. Well out of range. I would like to send both bats into him, but I don't think I'm quite going to be able to get away with it. Where's their halfway point? So all units are facing, so you get front, 2 flanks, and a rear charge. So you want to make sure that one, you can see them. Using the X key reveals how you see units there, so we can see them no problem. We can see their charge. Ordinarily I do something cheeky like this to make sure I can see them, but they can't see me. It doesn't matter in this instance because they're a ranged unit, they'll never charge, but it's good for discipline. So we can see them, we're in the side, we don't have to be entirely inside arc, as long as the majority of your units is inside. So in this case we're fine, we're clear the majority on the side there. We can reach, we can see, they can't see us, great. They come. Now, I don't think, even with their immense speed, and they're never going to be able to get to that one. So we could take a... we can trust that, what are they, power 3, defense 2, so equal skill. I mean, you might actually struggle, but then it's better charging them and then allowing to shoot 12 short bows at you than get to attack with 2, so we'd be much better in charging anyway. So I'll put those there and hammer the knights and the bats into them and just delay this one. I mean, they won't really be able to do much to the giants. So just to the side we go, and somehow I can. Ah, fascinating. So with other units, it would draw a direct line from the center of the unit to the center of the side you're channeling. So ordinarily you'd be passing through an enemy unit, so that line would be red and it would say no path to target. Because we can fly, we can ignore things in the way. I'm actually allowed to charge through and hit them. I'm not going to, because it's my intention to charge this one anyway. Send them in the front, and they'll be able to kill that no problem. Do I want to sit? Yeah, okay, let's just send the giant in. See how it does. They won't really be able to hurt us much. Everything's engaged. He can use Unholy Vigor, but I'd rather still there can, but nothing can move, so who cares? Good hits from the bats there. So hits are determined by skill versus skill. If it's equally hit on 4s, so we get 1 hit on us, we take a wound. But we have 2 each, so we don't actually lose a bat. And they break, which is fantastic news for us, because I can't really afford to take any more damage. Here, Seal hits all 3 times, killing 1 of them. And her accompanying knights get 5 hits, killing another 3. Take 1 damage back, but again, the knights also have 2 wounds. It's not showing me that, but like I say, so they're not actually going to lose a guy. 4 hits from our bats, killing another 3. We take only 1 back, even if it wound. I'm happy with that, because the wounds you take that aren't fatalities simply are healed at the end of the battle anyway, so they disappear. Our giant kills 3 of them, and then they hit 5 times, but they're forced to reroll successes, so they fail, and then we take no damage because we have 3 defense over their power. So we get the way the damage and power works is skill is easier, where it's just you're either higher, equal, or lower, and it'll be 3s, 4s, or 5s to hit respectively. Power changes slightly, so here I'm going to take money on all of these. It's an easy decision. The reason I'm reticent here, yes, you could get all the healing, but it's a bit of a hassle because I'll get 6 guys and Sil. That'll be 7, and I can't put 7 in a row. They'll get pushed to the back and become very unwieldy, so I think it's perfectly combat viable. I'll just take the extra dude there. But yeah, with power, it's if you're equal, it's 4s. If your power is greater than an enemy defense, it's 3s. Or rather, it's go inversely, it's 5s for them to save, so the save gets worse. And if the power is 3 greater or more than defense, it's even worse, it's actually 2s. So you can really, really hammer them. And I'm happy to put the bats in terrain here because they aren't slowed down by it and they benefit from the cover. It's quite nice. I'm actually going to be a bit cheeky, just pop him there, just in case there is any shooting. So I can inch him forward so he's in cover. Just in case they go first, I'm going to do that. If they target that one, so be it. They don't have any shooting in this case, so no problem. Just ball riders and orc warriors. We're going first. Let's start positioning him around. They'll come forward, I presume. Kind of what you expected there. I'm somewhat hopeful that I can get... because I did that trick with the cover, I now can't escape in time. Okay, what we might be able to do instead... Can't reach, but I can use Unholy Vigor with this unit to increase his movement by 3. And theoretically escape. Or the safer approach beyond even that, I think, would actually be to increase our own movement by 3. Crusaders into the side of the boars because I'm only just shy. So I'll definitely be able to make it if I do it that way around. 17 now, not 14. Go across, and we've made it. So we can hit them, they can't see us, and any charges they attempt will fail because if you charge a unit in the flank, they're intercepted. The only thing I'm slightly scared of, need to be worried about, is that I might be a bit too close to that Orc Warrior unit's going to start coming forward. I think I'm far enough away to be safe. So do that. I'll just twist myself slightly. Doing this with the intention of, yeah, we're clearly inside, making it harder, guaranteeing they won't be able to reach me and bother me. Because, yeah, we're okay. So they'll charge into them, and which means we can start planning for future turns with these Orc Warriors. Now I was going to say I have faith that they would be able to break them, but not necessarily, because the boars are very, very tough, as we saw in our previous one with the greenskins. They're kind of bricks, so I'm going to make a decision. I'm either going to send the giant to them, or the giant over here to hit these Orc Warriors. I'm going to have faith in Syl to take those on. I think she can manage it. So they'll get ready to side charge these next turn. Same, I suppose. I'll just send them right over. I'll possibly get a rear charge next turn. In fact, we can completely surround them with 3 units. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, I thought for a second I made a dreadful mistake and I actually blocked my own charge. But no, we can still see them, so we'll intercept there. Ignore the fact that we passed through our own unit there. I'm sure it was wholly intentional. Alright, so this is a free rear charge. This is obviously a free side charge. Now, ordinarily I'd try and get the unit all the way out to the side, but because we're intercepting them, both flank and rear, we don't. I think we have so much movement, in fact, we can manage it anyway. But if I was stuck over here, as long as I was in the majority, it'd still be okay, because they wouldn't be able to counter you. In this case, we're fine. They can use Unholy Vigor, why bother? Can't use it on the bats, it's the one unit I can't use it on. Still hits all 3 times, killing one of them, does 2 wounds, and then our knights, averagely, and doing extra wound. We take no damage back. Now I'm hopeful because they have terrible discipline, they'll break, they don't, and they roll amazingly. The lower you roll in discipline, the better, so double 1 is as good as they could possibly do, so we're going to wind up stuck there. I'm fairly confident all of these together would be able to smash through this. I might lose 1 back from this unit, which would be unfortunate, but just roll the dice. So it's all 3 times. Kills the wounded one. The knights hit terribly, but still managed to do a wound. We hit 3 times, and we take 1 back, but we'll still win. And they still hold. The most persistent unit of Boar Riders you've ever seen. Giant hits 3 times, killing 2. They don't hit it at all. Our bats here hit 3 times, killing another one. Not at all. The bats in the rear hit 2 times, kill another one. They can't attack backwards, just do little attacks on the side. You can't roll a 1 on 2 dice, and because we've somewhat surrounded it, the unit just completely disintegrates rather than anything else. There's no charges to be done there. And just in case, for some irritating unit, that boar unit is still holding, move these around to assist. Move back ever so slightly, because that unit will shrink, so they'll be even harder to see them, and I think that's okay. Just get the rest. 1 hit from Syl, not doing a wound. 6 hits from the knights, that's much better, but they roll great, so they take 1 wound. It's a draw. We lose a guy. Annoying, the enemy will rout this turn, that's okay. I'm happy that, because now I can regenerate 2 guys and have 6 across, but still be a coherent unit. It's a perfect outcome. I don't care about anything else. The round is over due to enemy routing this turn. Just hold spacebar, hurry this up, 1 wound. Damage from the knights, we take 1 back, but we won't lose a guy. 2 from the bats, that's enough to win. Now let me guess they run away. Yep, too late. Doesn't make any difference now, but there you go, Pyrrhic victory. Well, not really, we did win legitimate. It's a legitimate victory. Okay, 3 units leveled up from the XP, so we'll take the full heal. Well, it's not quite full, but now it's 5 plus 1 is 6, which is great. The bats leveled. Oh, we're spoiled for choice. Those are all fantastic options. Regarding how we're using the bats, I think I would take the attack. Depends mathematically, so they have 2 attacks each, so it depends on the skill of the opponent you're fighting. So if they're 3 and I moved up to 4, we'd hit on 3s, it would be better than the extra attack. The wounds are fantastic for reasons obvious, so all of those are great. think I'll just go with the raw attacks and just allow for, because we're side arcing them all the time. Same thing, turn them all into attackers. And the giant leveled. Interesting. Extra wounds is 10 to 11 is just not worth it. Replenishment is also not great because we're not taking. It's designed not to take damage. So just in case you lose a combat, reducing the crumble roll is, we haven't seen it yet, but that's what would happen if an undead unit loses combat. It doesn't roll discipline and run away. Rather, it rolls a crumble test and loses D3, so 1 to 3 wounds. So the only thing that might hurt it is losing combats and being attrition to death. So reducing those is probably the best option. No option here. We'll just go into another fight with a roaming brigand, so a unit of archers and a unit of swordsmen, I believe. Again, it's a tried and trusted strategy. We'll just put these on the flanks. It's not so extremely on the flanks this time, so I can actually get some synergy between them. This is in the way, which is a bit annoying. Perhaps I'll do it like this instead. Of archers, that was kind of annoying. In that case, you would have liked the unit of bats there, but oh well. Me first. Who's he going to target? We can see the threat range of enemy archers by doing this. They're going to shoot those. I don't think there's anything I can really do about it, so I might as well just start. I can get to them next turn. So they went with that unit first. Okay, how do I want to do this? Start getting the bats around here. I can actually get the bats so far they can reach that in a single turn. The downside to that, of course, is that they're going to be shot by the archers, so careful. Let's hold off on doing that for just a moment. Instead, position these bats. Get relatively safe. These in the side. Shoot these, I believe. Yeah. I'm going to do a lot of damage tonight. Take one, fine. Now you come forward. Probably take them on the front. Can't. Just shoot them while we're here, why not? 2. And we'll send the bats forward as well. So I can reach the archers immediately. If I had another unit there, you could have that slightly further to the right, you could hit them on both ends and definitely beat them. As it stands, a single unit of bats might not be able to break them, so it's a little bit touch and go. Happy to do this, just get in there and definitely break these this turn. Yeah, the giant's the one unit's just a bit too slow to synergize with these. They're all very quick. I guess I could use Unholy. I could have used Unholy Vigor on it and got it a couple extra. It's entirely my fault. Actually, you could have done this. The extra 3 inches would have gotten you into the woods to see the. Unit was still there. So yeah, the bats have more attacks now, but they still hit dreadfully. Yeah, I was afraid of that, so you might not be able to take no wounds back. So we only win by 3. They might hold. No, they don't. We're lucky. This one over here is slightly easier. Still hits once, killing 1. Might hit 5 times, killing 4. Good stuff. Take 4 hits back. No damage. Okay, so we've definitely won. And the bats get no extra one. They can't kill 1, so I don't care if it takes a wound. Well, in theory, they could hold. No. Piece of cake. Just forcing the enemy to roll bad discipline tests is probably the most effective way of getting through. Okay, counter Solana leveled. Interesting. Shadow Bolt, was it upgrades? So it goes from power 4 to power 5 and increases its range, which is fine, but it's really just a small supplementary ability. We don't really care. It's the charge and damage we do. So extra wounds on a character is a little bit redundant in that they only come up in duels with enemy characters. So I'm just going to take the post-battle gold. Just keep making us more money. And then her accompanying retinue of knights. Okay, how do we want to do this? Crumble. Again, we're not really losing fights. So it's not really relevant. In fact, I'm just going to take the gold with them as well. Just go all in. 391, we're rich. Get the size, so we're going to our first shop. Okay, let's see what we can do. So unit of Dread Knights for cheap there. That's probably a pretty good choice. Let's see what else. The giant can also buy a boulder to... How does that... So you went to a shop and bought a big rock. You couldn't find a rock anywhere else. You had to buy it here. But okay, there you are. Shroud. Never seen these before. Target units count as being Okay, so you give cover to an ally unit. That's kind of interesting. So I'd like these. That's 225. The lance and shield is fantastic because it means it's a massive improvement on the current hand weapon shield. It's just more power. That's just power as well. So that's 225 would leave me with what, 171 minus 5, 169. And that would be 65, so 104. You can't quite get everything. I'm not fussed about these for that time. So we're absolutely going to take this one. I think it'd be silly not to. The lance and shield will be there when we go to the next shop, but the banners won't necessarily be. So I think go with the rock for the giant because it's a great utility piece. And I'll take the 2 banners rather than the lance because this amounts to the same and I can pick that up later. This and this. Yeah. So our army now, we have... Oh, it was... Oh, so I slightly misunderstood. It was a retinue, not just a generic... Okay, fine. So Sylvana's moved over to a more impressive unit of cavalry in that case. Unit of dread knights. Fine. Just means I've got to heal that to 2 extras next time. We'll go up to 6 will be a... But then I've... But as a kind of commiseration, I've improved their power. So there'll be 3, 4 in the charge, 5 in the charge with the banner, and there'll be 6 when I get the lances and shields at the next shop. So they'll be quite potent. I bought a rock for the giant. The dreaded monstrosity and his pet rock there, which is great. And then the bats will just be as they are. Right, I think we'll leave that there. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed that, do like and subscribe. The run will continue. There's more SOVL content available on the channel, as well as a host of other gaming related kind of Warhammer adjacent stuff. So if any of that tickles your fancy, do have a peek. If you have any feedback for what you'd like to see or a commentary on the series, then do drop a comment. I'd be more than happy to engage. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.